and welcome back to Pretty Little Pleasures. I've already wished you a Happy New Year, but Happy New Year again, you guys. If this is your first time coming to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit that notification bell, which is going to show up right there, so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. I try to upload on Friday evenings so that videos are up for you by Saturday morning. And also, you guys, comment down in the comment section and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. So you guys, for this video, I'm going to do some DIY projects. It's been a while, you guys, since we've done some DIY projects. I know that for this year, you're gonna see a lot of things from my channel like you've already been seeing, but I just wanna show you bits and pieces of who I am. I love the Lord, I love crafts, I love cooking. There are just a lot of things. I love spending time with my family. So on my channel, you're just gonna get a mix of day-to-day life, DIY projects, home decor, cooking, just a lot of stuff that comes from my heart, and I hope you enjoy it. But today, the DIY projects that I'm going to do with you are some projects that I'm doing in preparation for getting my home warm and cozy for these winter months that we have. We've all taken down our Christmas decorations. To be honest, guys, I'm still taking down the last of my Christmas decorations. And then after I do that, I like to get my home nice and warm and cozy and just give it that nice warm feel. And so the video for next week is going to be just that, me sharing some ideas with you as I take you along with me and show you how I'm decorating my home for after Christmas to give it that warm, cozy feeling. And so the DIY projects that I'm going to do with you now are just some things that I want to add to that decor as I'm getting those things ready. So anyway, you guys, thanks again for coming to my channel. Let's get to these DIYs. So guys, I found some inspiration on Pinterest. I want to make these hanging shelves, this wood votive candelabra, this wood bead wreath, this milk glass table centerpiece, and this lantern terrarium. So let's go. Okay guys, for this project, I'm gonna redress this beautiful lantern that I got for the Christmas holidays. If you guys remember, I got it for a steal of a price. For this project, I have some brown moss, and I'm gonna use it to line the bottom of my lantern. I have some sweet moss. It's more of the grassier type. I'm going to use it on top of the other moss. I have some succulents and some other green pigs. And I'm going to reuse my twinkle lights. Guys, I'm going to start by lining the bottom of my lantern with this brown sweet moss. I'm going to make sure to spread it out evenly so that it lays somewhat flat so that I can lay the other moss on top of it evenly. I'll take my green moss and lay it on top of the brown moss, and then I'll break it up and spread it out so that it looks more natural and even throughout. And this is what it looks like once I have all of my moss laid on the bottom of my lantern. Next, I'll begin to add my succulents and my pigs to make this begin to look like a small terrarium. And now I'll add the twinkle lights to give it that warm, cozy look. And you guys see I'm going to tuck this battery box over to the side out of sight, but easy to access for turning the twinkle lights on and off. And guys, here's the finished product. It looks so warm and cozy inside this terrarium. For this next DIY project, I'm going to be doing a beaded wreath. I'm using some floral wire, some floral stems, some ribbon, and this beaded wreath. You guys, I'm going to begin by placing my stems evenly for each side of the wreath. Once I have them situated the way I like, I'll use my floral wire and begin to adhere them to the beaded wreath. This would be a lot easier if I wasn't working with an injured hand, but it's okay, I got it. And now that I've got this side exactly the way I want it, I'll duplicate the same look on the other side of my wreath. And now it's time for me to make my bow. You guys, I've shown you how to make a bow in previous videos, but if you'd like to know again, leave a comment down in the comment section and maybe I'll do a video just on making bows. And now that I've finished folding the first ribbon for the bow, now I'll go and do the contrasting ribbon the exact same way. showing you that I'm folding this evenly and I'm going to snip on each side directly in the middle. And I'm going to be careful not to snip all the way through the smallest ribbon that's on top. Now that I have it snipped on both sides, I'm going to take a piece of my floral wire and wrap it between those slits to secure my bow in the middle. Now I'm going to secure my bow to my wreath. And you guys, this ribbon is not wired ribbon. I'm going for more of a floppier looking bow. And you guys, this is what my finished bow looks like. And here I'm taking more of that ribbon and I'm going to make a loop right at the top of my wreath that will allow me to hang it from a door. And you guys, here's my finished wreath. I think it turned out beautifully. For this DIY, I'm going to use this beautiful slim dough bowl that I picked up from my local Tuesday morning store. I have some beautiful stems. And then you guys, I have these beautiful milk glass vases that I got at my local antique store. Now my dough bowl, because it has that dip in it, the vases would not sit down in it flat. So I cut some pieces of cardboard to line the bottom, and I'm going to sit my vases on top of this cardboard. I'm going to use my glue gun to glue the two pieces of cardboard together so there's no shifting. Next, I'm going to add all of my floral stems to the vases before I put them in the dough bowl. Now I'll set my milk vases on top of my dough bowl and I'll space them out evenly to make it all look uniform. Here's how it looks with the milk vases all spaced out evenly. And now I'll take some moss and fill in the spaces to cover that cardboard that you see in between each one of my mill faces. And I'm going to use my glue gun to glue the moss down. And I'm just going to continue this until I have all of the spaces filled in and the cardboard completely covered with moss. And this is the finished product, guys. It's going to make a beautiful centerpiece for the table. You guys, for this next DIY, I have this plain piece of plywood board, and I have some gel stain that I'm going to stain this board with. And now guys, for this DIY project, I'm going to do a votive candelabra. I'm going to use this piece of wood that I previously stained. I'm going to use these votives, and I'm also going to use these white candles. So guys, here I'm measuring out my piece of plywood, and it's exactly 24 inches long. So that tells me that 12 is my center. I'm going to mark the center, and then I'm going to mark where I need to space my votives out evenly. Now that I have my piece of plywood marked, I can set my votives out and just make sure they look nice and even before I use my glue gun to glue them to the piece of wood. And now that I know they're spaced evenly, I can begin to use my glue gun and glue them all in place. And now I'm adding my candles for the finishing touch. And here we go, guys, my votive candelabra. And for my last project, I'm doing these hanging layered trays. I purchased this trio of trays from Walmart, as well as the rope. My husband pre-drilled the holes in each one of these wooden trays for me in each of the 4 corners. Next, I took my rope and I fed it through each of the 4 holes in each layer of my tray. I'm starting with the smallest tray first, and I'm going to build from the smallest to the largest tray to give me the look that I'm going for. Layer, I tie a knot on each of the 4 corners at the end of the rope to make sure the tray stays in place and doesn't slide up and down the rope. And I'm going to continue this process until I have all 3 of my trays in place with knots tied at the end of each layer. And here I am at the final layer, and I'm tying the last knots in the 4 corners of my trays. And here's the final look. Okay guys, so that's it for the DIY projects. I know you guys want to see these styled, and if you tune in with me next week, you will get to see as I'm decorating my home and making it nice and warm and cozy for the rest of the winter months, then you'll get to see those styled. I'm going to just be going throughout my home, clearing out things like that Christmas tree that I still have sitting on this counter, making sure all of the Christmas things are down, and then just adding some warm touches to my home to just make it cozy. You guys, I live in Florida, and so we don't have really long winters, but it is cold right now. And so just that warm, cozy feeling for the few months, weeks of winter that we do have. So anyway, guys, we'll get more into that next week. I hope you enjoyed these DIY projects. I know that you guys like for me to link things in the description box, so I'm going to do my best. Some of the things I got from my different antique shop, like the milk glass vases and things like that, I can't link specifically the ones that I have, but I will look and see if I can find some similar to that for you on Amazon, and anything that I can find similar to what I used, will link it in the description box. So anyway, you guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. You guys be blessed. Remember, it's all the little things in life that really, really do give us the sweetest, prettiest little pleasures. Until next week, you guys, be blessed. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.